guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speedbuilding video, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a build in the world of Evergreen Harbour, which is the world that we got with the Sims 4 expansion pack, Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle, and surprisingly this is actually my first build in this world. Now don't get me wrong, I haven't got anything against Evergreen Harbour, it is a very nice world to play in. I have just been a bit cautious of doing a build here for my save file because the world basically changes as your sim goes through the gameplay, and as your sims, if they win the career that actually came with the expansion pack, your sims actually have the option to kind of clean up the neighborhood and just to kind of make this world a better place to live in. As you can see, it's not exactly the nicest and picturesquest place to live right now. There is rubbish everywhere. There's a broken down bath in the back. I don't know if you can see it. You might be able to see it at some points, but I noticed there's actually a broken down bathtub at the very back of this lot. There's fridges. There's like broken down fridges, not just random fridges that your sims can go to, but broken down fridges, just general mess. And your sims, if they actually decide to play through the career, you can actually clean that mess up. But with doing that, you can actually change the look of the houses. And I've just been a bit wary of actually doing that and then building a house and then the actual environment changing and then the house that I built not fitting in anymore. And so that's why I haven't actually built in this world ever. I was about to say for a while, but ever, because I've just been a bit worried and just trying to figure out how I can actually do a build that I can have in my save file that will be a nice place when it's a nice place to live. So there is lots of green, northern lights, and you know, just like a nice place to live, and also a house that actually fits into the area that it is now, which is kind of a bit of a dive. But yeah, I feel like no matter the environment, whether it is going to be a messy neighborhood or if you're going to clean up the neighborhood, this house just kind of fits in quite nicely. And yeah, I'm just really happy with it, so hopefully you guys like it. So this house does actually have 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, but it does actually sleep 5 sims. Now there is a parent's bedroom, there is a bedroom which has 2 single beds in, so it sleeps 2 sims, and then there is another bedroom which has 1 single bed in, which sleeps a single sim. Now if you actually wanted to have more bedrooms, with the bathrooms, I actually made it so there was 2 bathrooms upstairs and 3 bedrooms, just because I didn't want to make it so there was 4 bedrooms and then 1 bathroom, because I feel like there'd be some fighting for your sims to use the toilet, and so I decided to make it so there was an extra bathroom. But if you wanted to make that other bathroom into a bedroom, you can very easily do so, as well as there is actually a garage in this house, so if you wanted to convert that garage into another bedroom, maybe for a teenager, then you could definitely do that. It would be quite a simple job. All it would be would literally just remove all of the stuff that I've placed inside the garage and just make it into a bedroom. But I just decided to make it into quite a nice, simple, kind of realistic house. I really wanted some of the children to actually share a bedroom, so like I mentioned, one of the bedrooms actually has 2 single beds in. Now I think I've mentioned this before, but I really want to start making bedrooms where they've actually got more than 1 bed in, just to make it a little bit more realistic, because realistically not everyone is fortunate enough to have their own bedroom and not share it with another person, like their other sibling. And so that's why I decided to have 2 beds in 1 bedroom. I just feel like it's a little bit more realistic, and I really do love realism in my builds, and so I try to implement it in any way, shape and form where I can. But anyway, moving on from that and actually speaking about the build a little bit more. So as you can see, this house does actually have quite a long driveway leading up to the garage. Now realistically, I feel like in Evergreen Harbour you wouldn't really find a swimming pool or a jacuzzi, or you know, that massive long slide that we got from Backyard Stuff. I feel like you wouldn't find that realistically in this world. Now I actually said this in my last video, which was a single mum Victorian, which I actually built for the new stuff pack, the Paranormal Stuff pack. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a card on the screen now, but I actually mentioned it in that video because I was actually building in Strangerville, which is another world that I just don't feel like swimming pools and jacuzzis and all that kind of stuff, it just doesn't fit into me with the environment. And so with some worlds like Strangerville and like Evergreen Harbour, I'm deciding not to actually include swimming pools and jacuzzis, and I'm just trying to make use of the lot of space in any way that I can without adding in like swimming pools and jacuzzis. And so that's why I decided to do this massive long driveway. I feel like it looks quite realistic and I really like it. It also reminds me of like a Sims 3 house, because in the Sims 3 we did actually have cars and you did actually have garages, and this would be kind of like a standard house in the Sims 3. It just kind of reminds me of the Sims 3. I don't know if it's just me, but I really liked it. It kind of made it so the lot wasn't completely empty, because if I would have just made it so the garden was really big, I honestly don't know what I would have been able to fill the garden with, because there's only so many seating areas and there's only so many planters that you can actually put into a garden without making it look a little bit over the top. And so I decided to actually make it so the driveway was really nice and long, and then the garden is quite a short and sweet garden. It's quite small, but it's kind of got everything that your sim needs in there. So in the garden, we will move on to it shortly. I'm just currently doing the landscaping, which by the way, the landscaping in this house is quite minimal. As you can see, I just use basically just live edit bushes throughout the whole entire like landscaping of it. So as you can see, the actual bushes around this kind of lot are these exact same bushes, and as they are from the live edit menu, I was just able to plop them out of the build and buy catalogue and then place them down. By the way, there is also the same thing for the fences. If you're wondering where them fences are from, they are from the live edit menu. I actually have a cheat installed into my game, which is, I can't remember the name of the cheat, but I've always got it linked in my description box down below, which basically enables me to access the live edit and the debug menu in my normal build and buy without having to turn the cheats on. Honestly, it is such a lifesaver. I literally use this mod in every single one of my builds, and that's actually how I'm able to get all of the different live edit menu items and all the debug menu items so easily. And you can actually just toggle it on or off. So say if you wanted to look for decorations and you've always got the cheat enabled, then you'll probably have all like the debug menu items, and there'll just be loads of just mess and it'll be unorganized. But this mod actually organizes it all. So if you wanted to search for a fence, all you'd have to do is search fence and it would come up, and you can toggle it on or off. So if you didn't want to see it in your normal build and buy menu, you can just turn it off. Honestly, it was absolute lifesaver. I couldn't recommend this mod anymore. As well as actually my red shelf mod, which I've actually got installed, which is actually not a mod, it's actually a piece of CC, which basically enables me to move objects for a certain height. So sometimes if I want to move something onto maybe like a shelf or something, say if I wanted to move a plant onto a shelf, a lot of the shelves don't actually have a lot of like space for certain items, but with this red shelf, it basically enables me to move things to a certain height without it floating. Hopefully that explains it well. If you've watched my videos before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, both my red shelf and this mod for the build and buy like live edit and debug is in the description box down below. But anyway, as you can see, I've now moved on and I've started doing the garden. The garden is short and sweet. There's a lot of stuff in here, but it's actually quite a short space. So as you can see, there is a basketball hoop, there is a swing set, there is some planters, there is also a little seating area, there is the florist table. Honestly, for such a small garden, there's actually quite a lot of content in this garden. There is actually quite a lot of gameplay. But now moving on, I've now started doing the inside. Like always, the wallpapering and flooring for this house I did off camera. It just takes me way too long. I don't know if there will ever be a day where I actually keep in the food of me actually doing the wallpaper and flooring, just because it takes me so long to decide which ones to actually choose. But as you can see, I have actually started off with a lounge room. So in the lounge room, I just had to use the new sofas that we got with the Paranormal Stuff pack. I absolutely love these sofas, and they come in this really nice white swatch, which kind of just goes perfectly with any type of house, and I needed to use them, so I used them in here. And I also used the little coffee table, which is from Paranormal Stuff, and then I just have like a little fireplace from Parenthood. And now I've actually moved on and I've started doing the kitchen. So in the kitchen, I used all the Parenthood counters and the Parenthood fridge, but then I actually used a cool kitchen oven. As you can see, I'm just going around now and adding some cabinets. The kitchen was quite big, and I really didn't know how to like structure it in a way that would make it so it wasn't as big, if that makes any sense, because I didn't want to make the floor plan any smaller and I didn't want to change the floor plan, but I also wasn't sure on how to decorate this kitchen because it was so big. So as you can see, I've just kind of done like an L shape for the counters, and in a second you'll see me actually add a breakfast bar onto the other side of the room. And I basically made it so that was like the family computer, because I don't know if it's just me, but when I watched iCarly when I was little on Nickelodeon, Carly from iCarly used to have a computer on her breakfast bar, and I just thought it was the most amazing idea when I was little. And I've actually done this in a few of my builds before, but I've always got that idea from iCarly, so I decided to put a computer onto the breakfast bar. Maybe it's kind of like where one of the parents sits and does their work, or maybe looks for recipes. I don't really know. I just really like this idea, and the idea actually came from iCarly. But anyway, moving on, as you can see, I'm now started doing the dining room. So in the dining room, it's quite short and sweet. I'm not really quite sure on how to furnish dining rooms because I feel like they're quite hard to furnish and actually make them look quite interesting. So in here, I do just have the Parenthood table as well as the matching chairs. I decided to go for the green ones because they actually match the bar stools which were in the kitchen. And as you can see, I'm just cluttering it up with some coffee tables and some plants, a little armchair as well. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit more lived in and a little bit more realistic. Now, as you can see, I've now moved on to one of the bathrooms. So like I mentioned, there is actually 3 bathrooms in this house, and I actually show the furnishing for 2. Normally I only show the furnishing for 1, but as this one is actually part laundry room, part utility room, part bathroom. I said part utility room, part laundry room, but they're basically the same thing. It's basically a laundry room and a bathroom, but because it is a laundry room, I wanted to show it in the furnishing. And so I do actually decide to cut one of the bathrooms out, but you will actually see the upstairs bathroom as well. As you can see though, down here it's just a short and simple, nice little bathroom. It's got washing machine and tumble dryer, so this house does actually have laundry. If you don't want to play with laundry in your houses, then it's absolutely fine, you can just delete it. But I really like laundry in my houses just because it adds a little bit of realism, and like I I've said, I love a bit of realism. Now as you can see, I've just moved on and I've started doing the little hallway area, so just kind of doing the entrance where your Sims would walk in through the front door, adding some shoes and coats and, you know, like little umbrella holder and the thermostat and all that kind of stuff. And now I've actually moved on to the upstairs bathroom and I've started doing one of the bathrooms. So like I said, I only show the furnishing of this one and not the other one. It's basically the exact same bathroom, but just the other one is slightly longer. Like I said as well at the start of this video, if you wanted to make that other bathroom into a bedroom, you could very easily do so, but I just didn't want there to be 4 bedrooms and 1 bathroom upstairs, because like I said, it'll be like Sims will be fighting over the toilet, and so I decided not to actually include an extra bedroom and make it into a bathroom. But moving on, I've now started furnishing the bedrooms, and I decided to start off with a bedroom which actually has the 2 single beds in. So I actually designed this bedroom to be for children, and the other bedroom as well is going to be for a child as well. I imagine that this household had 3 children and then just a set of parents. Obviously, if you wanted to download this house, you could do whatever you want with it. If you wanted to have 2 teenagers in here, you could definitely do that. If you wanted to have 1 teenager in here and maybe the other bedroom be a toddler, honestly, you can do whatever you want. This is just kind of what I imagined in my head. I imagined that these children were twins and that's why they actually had to share a bedroom. That's just my idea. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. As this bedroom does actually have 2 single beds in compared to the normal one that I do for children's bedrooms, I wasn't actually able to have as much activity as I would like, or as many activities as I would like in this bedroom. So normally I would have science tables and doll houses and, you know, all the different activities that your Sims could actually do, or your Sims children can actually do. But because I couldn't actually fit it all into this room, I kind of had to make use of the space that I had available. So I actually used the smallest desks in the game, which are ones from Parenthood. There is 2 desks in here, so both children have their own desk. They both have their own little laptop. I decided to go for a laptop instead of a computer because I feel like laptops are more childlike than computers. Maybe it's just me, but I decided to add in 2 laptops. And then I did also use the Discover University chest of drawers. I used that one because it's only 1 tile. It doesn't take up too much space and it kind of allows more room for more things in the room. And so I actually decided to add in a little mirror, the little toy like dragon thing, and a few more decorations as well. As you can see, I'm now just going around and cluttering it up. There are so many like posters and just general clutter in this room. I really wanted to make it as childlike as possible. I did actually add some piles of clothes on the floor as well, because I feel like sometimes children can be a little bit messy. Maybe they don't want to put their washing into the laundry basket, and so I just had a few of them on the floor. As you can see, I'm actually now coming in and adding a little laundry basket just behind one of the beds, and now I've actually moved on. I've started furnishing the next bedroom. So again, this bedroom is for a child, but obviously you can make it into whatever type of bedroom you want. You could definitely have a teenager be in here. I feel like there's not as many childlike objects in this room as there was to the previous room. I just feel like any kind of Sim that you wanted could actually sleep in here, whether it be a child or a teenager. Or if you wanted to make it into a nursery, you could definitely do that. I was actually debating at the very start of this video when I was actually doing the floor plan to make this bedroom into a nursery, but I feel like, if we're being honest, babies don't really hold much gameplay, do they? They're not really a Sim, they're just kind of like an object, and so I'd much rather have another actual Sim instead of like an object Sim, and so that's why I decided to make it for another child. As you can see though, I'm just going around and cluttering it up, adding some fairy lights, adding them little wall decal things that are from Parenthood, and just adding loads of posters. And then I'm just going to go around now and finish off this room and add some toys above the little wardrobe. This is the red shelf that I was actually speaking about earlier. It just allows me to move objects to a certain height without having to press the 9 key about 1,000,000 times. But anyway, I'm now finished off this room and I'm now moving on to the last bedroom, which is the parents' bedroom. So in here I decided to use the Snowy Escapes bed and the matching bedside table. I actually really like this bed and I was surprised how much I actually use it in compared to what I thought I would use it, because honestly I didn't think I'd use it that much, but it's just a really nice simple bed. It comes in some really nice plain swatches, which I think everyone can appreciate a nice plain swatch because plain swatches go with basically everything. And yeah, I decided to use the Snowy Escapes bed. As you can see, I'm just clutching up this little chest of drawers, which is on the other side of the room. And now I'm actually going to finish the room off by adding a mirror and a little armchair. I wasn't quite sure what to add into this bedroom because maybe it's just me, but I actually really struggle with doing parents' bedrooms. Maybe it's just me, but honestly, parents' bedrooms are some of the hardest bedrooms I find personally to actually furnish and to decorate. But anyway, moving on, I've now furnished in the last room in this house, which is actually the garage. So as you can see in here, we do just have the woodworking table as well as the candle making station. We have the little decorational boxes so your Sims can decorate for Halloween or Christmas or whatever holiday they want to. There is also the little treadmill, and then I do also add in some of the little freezer or kind of like small compact kind of little fridges that we actually got from Outdoor Retreat. I also do add them into this garage as well, and that is basically it. So I'm actually going to end this voice over here. As always, you can download this build via the gallery. My origin ID is JessicapieYT, or you could just search for the hashtag JessicapieYT or just the hashtag Jessicapie. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you do like my content, then please do subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next Sims 4 speedbuilding video. Bye guys.